So, according to Rutendo Matinyarare, civilian leadership in Zimbabwe needs to shape up by actually demonstrating that it can govern to avert a possible military coup. He has been writing these warnings for several times. This comes as the civilian leadership under Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa at the moment face competition by the deep state because it wants to mutilate the constitution, make about 21 changes to the constitution on what has become popularly known as Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So according to Rutendo Matinyarare, he says civilian leadership in Zimbabwe needs to show it can govern to avert a possible coup. He says contrary to what most people think, we don't want a coup in Zimbabwe because coups are bad for business. They lead to a nation being sanctioned by the AU, SADC, and the UN, which would cause the country to lose its improving global image and economic attractiveness. However, where political instability is caused by a power grab or greed, a coup may be the only means to reset and avert civil unrest. To prevent further instability, under President Mnangagwa's Constitutional Amendment Bill 3, power grab, civilian governance must demonstrate responsibility and leadership that puts the nation before selfish interest. This is needed to avert the military having to fill a leadership vacuum created by the current leadership's greed and self-centeredness. What would this look like? One, this is the advice from Rutendo Matinyarare. One, Parliament, instead of trying to rubber stamp the Constitutional Amendment Bill 3 process to secure bribes and or a term extension without a referendum, MPs must honestly interrogate whether the Constitutional Amendment Bill 3 process from consultations through to the vote for a presidential terms extension without a referendum has been constitutional. So it's an advice that must be done by members of parliament to ascertain whether the process is really indeed constitutional. But the majority of them, they are just bootlickers, especially from ZANU-PF. Do they have the capacity to do so? We will be watching tomorrow if the sitting actually takes place. 2. Parliament's vote. Parliament must then vote in line with the constitutionality of the process, their constituencies' demands, an outlook to protect the constitution and the interest of maintaining peace in the nation. So he's saying, the deployees to the parliament, who are the members of parliament, they are deployed there to protect, to safeguard, to uphold the constitution of Zimbabwe and to align the laws of the land with the constitution of 2013, not to change or to do an overhaul to the people-centered constitution of 2013. That is what Rutendo Matinyarare is saying. 3, and this demonstrating to you that these points laid out by Rutendo Matinyarare, how should they be taken serious? Because if they don't take them serious, definitely there would be consequences. He says Parliament's vote must then vote in line with the constitutionality constitutionality of the process, constituents' demands. I've read that. 3, Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court must stop withholding judgment on the case filed by war veterans on whether CAP 3 is constitutional. Its delay is in delivering judgment is creating uncertainty and instability because the court has failed to decide a very simple constitutional question. If civilian leadership fails to lead, then a coup becomes inevitable. If it does happen, those who caused the crisis by not upholding the constitution must be held accountable. So I think, I'm a very, I strongly believe that Rutendo Matinyarare, when he speaks, most of the times he speaks from an informed position, or someone feeds him the information. Remember, he has been to ZANU-PF, he has connections, he has sat with people in highest places in ZANU-PF. And when he speaks, this should not be undermined. He predicts, in simple terms, he's laying out what will trigger a coup in Zimbabwe. Number one, there are processes that the deep state is actually seeking to, in fact, they are doing in an effort to try and conscientize Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa that we are about to retaliate. For example, the Constitutional Court challenged by war veterans. Mnangagwa should not just see those war veterans who took this bill to the court and think they are the ones. These war veterans are representing a broad deep state. And they are waiting for the and also it's a warning to the Constitutional Court that you have already delayed the judgment, keeping the nation waiting with issues of uncertainty, and that is not good for the nation. And also he warns the various the parliamentarians that, remember, you were elected by your constituencies. In simple terms, is buttressing what we have seen, court cases flooding the Constitutional Court, constituencies taking the members of parliament to tell them that we did not vote for you to extend your own term of office. We voted for you to serve for 5 years. Where are you getting the mandate? The court is yet to respond and deal or tackle with these actually applications that are flooding the Constitutional Court. So, and also is warning parliamentarians that the only way the civilian leadership could survive is to do the right thing. That is to vote against Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3, because of the mere fact that it is unconstitutional. That may serve the possibility of a coup being the order of the day. So he is actually giving us groups of people that, and as well as their behavior, that will trigger another coup in Zimbabwe. And that would be the behavior of the parliament of Zimbabwe, the decisions that would be carried out by the parliament of Zimbabwe. There may be a trigger. And already the process is ongoing. And a lot of people have been calling out for Mnangagwa to simply say, my guy, withdraw this bill. Withdraw this bill. He has been told by quite a number of individuals, not just mere citizens, but people who matters in the Zimbabwean politics. They keep on saying it's not too late to actually put aside your pride and acknowledge you made a mistake and reverse on this, because continuing to rubber stamp this would definitely be consequential. That is the message in simple terms that is being sent out by Rutendo Matinyarare, that the coup in Zimbabwe is on the horizon. And what will trigger that coup is the behavior of the institutions that he mentions, the judicial system, the president, as well as also the judicial system, the president, as well as also the parliament. These are the institutions that will determine whether Zimbabwe gets to experience another coup or not. The decisions they will take would be consequential, and also underscoring the punishment thereafter, specifically if they decide to take wrong decisions. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okanqobo Mhlabane is signing off.